Bonjour, bienvenue. Alors, c'est pas souvent qu'on fait des Instagram Live, mais en plus de ça, aujourd'hui à Montréal, on a une concurrence d'un temps merveilleux, donc il n'y a pas grand monde avec nous. Donc, c'est chouette qu'on puisse faire ce live à travers le monde et les réseaux sociaux, et aussi pour ceux qui auront la chance de retourner sur notre compte Instagram, vous allez pouvoir donc aussi le visionner. Ça va être archivé sur le site internet. So I'm very pleased in the context of this exhibition to have Leila Zelli and Shabnam Ghazi. Shabnam was not able to be with us during the opening because the borders were still closed between Ontario and Quebec, so it's really wonderful to have her with us. And Leila, franchement, c'est un grand plaisir que de te voir régulièrement avec lui. Et c'est encore un honneur que tu acceptes de venir nous parler de ton travail aujourd'hui. Alors, ce que je voulais vous proposer, c'est qu'on prenne une dizaine de minutes ensemble et je vais demander à Leila, en français, de présenter son travail, les paysages sacrés qu'on présente dans le cadre de l'exposition des histoires courent. Et ensuite, ask Shabnam to talk to us also about her project and these really intricate tissage, weave that she does with the memory of her youth. Alors, bienvenue. So, even I can maybe suggest, if our guests want to say a few words in Farsi, you're more than welcome to talk to the audience that might have a chance to see you on Instagram. So, bienvenue. Je vais me déplacer, je suis dans la salle et peut-être on va laisser la parole à Leila pour commencer.
Avec grand plaisir. Je m'approche parce que j'ai un peu de voix, alors je pense que ça serait mieux. Je ne vais pas parler en persan parce que ça me fait pleurer, sinon ça me rend vraiment émue. Mais je dis seulement salam, de Ghazi qui m'a mis là. Alors je commence ma présentation. Comme vous voyez ici, il y a deux séries d'images en noir et blanc et en couleur. Les images en noir et blanc sont des images que j'avais prises du courant de ma grand-mère il y a quelques années, en 2014-2015. Et les images de rose sont des images que j'avais prises en 2017. Alors, les images avaient été prises séparément. En 2015, en 2018, je me suis dit il y a un rapport formé entre ces deux séries. Et à l'époque, je travaillais sur la guerre en Syrie, entre autres, c'était mon sujet de maîtrise. Je me demandais des questions sur le rapport entre la guerre et la religion. C'est sûr que dans certains cas, dépendamment de qui utilise la religion, ça peut avoir un effet très positif pour la personne quand ça reste vraiment personnel, mais aussi ça pourrait avoir des effets dévastateurs quand on voit que la guerre, quand la religion est en lien avec le pouvoir. Alors ça peut déclencher les guerres, comme c'est le cas dans toutes les religions depuis toujours. Alors voilà, ici, plutôt vous voyez mon rapport émotif avec cet objet qui est le courant. Ça date, c'est un livre très ancien qui date depuis 200 ans. Alors les pages sont froissées par le temps. J'ai pris des photos en approchant, en essayant de voir dans les détails les jeux de lumière et de l'ombre
Merci beaucoup. Merci Leila. Donc, ce que je vais faire aussi, c'est inviter les spectateurs d'aller aussi sur le site internet où là, on peut lire ton texte, on peut lire aussi sur ta carrière. On peut signaler que tu viens de recevoir le prix de la Fondation Hoffman en art contemporain. Alors, félicitations. On peut aussi y trouver le fait que tu participes dans plusieurs expositions au même moment et donc on peut voir ton travail dans différents lieux et tout prochainement sera dévoilée aussi une activité muséale importante dans ta carrière. Alors félicitations Leila. Thank you. Shabnam. Welcome. So we're moving the camera towards you and I thought we would actually, this is a good shot because behind you we're seeing a box full of yarns, and in front of you we're actually seeing also a carpet called Ghazi. Shabnam, can you give us a bit of background?
So, first of all, thank you so much for curating this show and including me in this show. The whole idea of this series is started with the memory and the relationship of the memory with the time and the place. Specifically for me, I try to remember the events that happened in my life, like back when I was a child or when I was growing up in Tehran, Iran, which after a while, your memory fades and it's kind of like fragile. So I started, I really wanted to have this memory written, and I wanted them to create a new memory, basically, to build the new stories out of my old stories. So if you see, basically for creating the wheel that I wanted to start, I really need the material. So one of the materials I needed was like yarns, basically yarn or needles. So I started creating the yarns to make my gabe. And then I started what I do, I write my memory on a piece of paper and I calligraph the memory, which is in the method of siyah or black writing in Farsi. So I start with a big paper and I write it in every direction that I want. And some places that you see that they are dark, they are overwrite of the word that it stays with me for so long. And it was like kind of mantra. So I repeated that word, right? And then when I'm happy with that, when I write it, and then after that I have to do a lot of like processing, and then I shred my papers, and then I create the yarns that you see, and then from the yarns I started weaving gabe. Gabe took me like almost a year and something, and it's paper, so it's kind of relates to our memory, which is very fragile, and we don't remember so many details. So I wanted to have like material that it's kind of like memory. So I used paper and I started weaving this gabe, and gabe is one of the Persian Persian carpet that they do weave in villages. And in villages, like when you go gabe, they do it like when they see the landscape or anything, they take inspiration from the landscape. So sometimes it's very contemporary and very abstract, and that's why I wanted to use that method. I didn't want to go fully like Persian carpet things. I wanted to be something like contemporary too, and that's how the gabe I created the gabe.
And here it's actually placed on the podium.
Yes.
And what is the importance of the folds that you asked us to present?
To be honest, first of all, I wanted people to understand how it sits. The folding for me is very important. Even when I frame my work, I really want to show that how it is sheer and it's loose. It's exactly like, our memory and our thoughts that you can move it somewhere and it's totally different, Some people, they want to fold it and hold, place it, encase it, which is okay too, that's one method. But for me, it's like how you can, technically, you can give it different shapes and different composition,
I thought it was very interesting as we were working out the placement of the works to actually realize that your folds are in dialogue with the traces within the Quran that is all like fragile, and so it's really quite interesting to see the relationship that occurs through the placement of the works of art. And I must confess, for me it was a wonderful discovery to put these works in relation, but also to interact in terms of meeting of not only ideas but of people too. So here are three artists working in Canada that have a common origin, all coming from Iran, and working with calligraphy and not knowing each other, but your spirit of the work just comes together. And for me, it's quite an honor to have you here presented in this context.
Thank you so much. That's really great to know everybody. And then, as you said, that how work they speak in the same, in the same location. That's really great too, right? So, yeah, the text is very important, I guess.
So again, I'm going to invite the spectators to learn more about the work of Shabnam and Leila, and also Shabnam that could not be with us today, through the website and through the different links that we've given. So I'm going to put myself at 2 meters away so you can actually see my face, and I'll ask also. So I just want to thank you all for being here, and also the magic of social networks and the pandemic that made us discover all these new ways of partager l'intérêt du travail qu'on a ici en Montréal.
Je suis certaine qu'il y a des gens de l'Iran qui nous regardent.
Bien, merci beaucoup et bonne journée.